Here's something that's got the HBCU football world buzzing. Jackson State just dominated the 2025 Black College Football Player of the Year award preseason watch list, with 6 players making the cut. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this recognition well-deserved, or are we seeing favoritism toward high-profile programs? The Black College Football Hall of Fame dropped their highly anticipated watch list on Tuesday, featuring 50 standout athletes from historically black colleges and universities nationwide. What's grabbing everyone's attention? The Jacksonville State Tigers secured 6 spots on this prestigious list, more than any other single program mentioned in the announcement. Let's break down who made the grade from Jackson State. Signal caller Jacobian Morgan leads the charge, alongside offensive anchor DeAndre Towns-Blue, pass-catching threat Marvin Landry, and a trio of explosive wide receivers Joanes Fortilien, Nate Rembert, and Shemar Savage. That's quite a collection of talent. But it raises an interesting question we'll dive into later. Morgan's presence on this watch list makes perfect sense when you consider his track record. The quarterback orchestrated Jackson State's offense during their championship-winning campaign just last season, putting up impressive numbers that tell the story of his leadership. During the 2024 season, Morgan demonstrated his arm strength by launching passes for 2,236 yards, while finding the end zone through the air 21 times, compared to just 8 costly interceptions. What many people overlook, however, is his dual threat capability. Morgan also contributed significantly with his mobility, accumulating 336 rushing yards and punching in 6 additional touchdowns on the ground. But here's where things get really interesting for 2025. Morgan now has what could arguably be described as the most talented offensive supporting cast of his entire collegiate career. The returning duo of Landry and Fortilien proved their worth last season by combining for an impressive 662 receiving yards and crossing the goal line 14 times. Meanwhile, the Tigers made some strategic additions that have people talking. Rembert arrives from Mississippi Valley State, carrying the momentum of a spectacular 1,000-yard receiving season, while Savage brings his own credentials after accumulating 465 yards for Prairie View A&M during the 2024 campaign. Towns-Blue's inclusion shouldn't surprise anyone who follows HBCU football closely. This versatile offensive lineman is positioned to once again serve as the cornerstone of Jackson State's protection scheme up front. What makes his 2024 performance even more remarkable is that despite splitting time between center and guard positions throughout the season, he still earned All-American recognition from Boxero. That kind of flexibility and excellence is exactly what separates good players from great ones. Now let's talk about how this award actually works, because the process is more intricate than many fans realize. After the regular season concludes and all the dust settles, the selection committee will narrow down these 50 candidates to just 4 finalists. The ultimate winner receives their trophy during a special ceremony on February 21st, presented at halftime of the HBCU Legacy Bowl in New Orleans. The award itself carries the name of Deacon Jones, a legendary figure who dominated the defensive end position for South Carolina State and Mississippi Valley State from 1958 to 60, before transitioning into an all-NFL career and eventually earning his place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Doug Williams, co-founder of the Black College Football Hall of Fame, captured the essence of this recognition perfectly. The Black College Football Player of the Year award honors the talent, dedication, and spirit of today's HBCU football players. These young men uphold a proud legacy and inspire future generations to dream bigger and to always aspire for greatness. Here's a piece of recent history that adds context to Jackson State's current success. The most recent Tiger to claim this prestigious award was Shedeur Sanders back in 2022. Who's now making waves as the Cleveland Browns quarterback in the NFL. This connection raises an intriguing question about whether Jackson State has built a sustainable culture of excellence, or if they're riding the wave of recent high-profile attention. It's worth noting that Jackson State isn't the only Mississippi HBCU program represented on this watch list. Alcorn State running back Jacobian Morgan earned his spot after a solid 2024 performance where he churned out 801 rushing yards and found the end zone 6 times. While those numbers might seem modest compared to some of the flashier statistics we see today, they represent consistent production in a competitive conference. And this is the part most people miss. Having 6 players on a 50-person national watch list is either a testament to Jackson State's recruiting prowess and player development, or it could indicate that the selection process might be influenced by program visibility and recent success, rather than purely individual merit. What do you think? Are we witnessing legitimate recognition of exceptional talent? Or has Jackson State's recent prominence in the media created a halo effect that benefits their players in these types of selections? The debate extends beyond just this watch list. It touches on larger questions about how we evaluate talent across different HBCU programs. Whether transfer portal additions should be immediately eligible for conference-specific awards. And if the current system truly represents the breadth of talent across all historically Black institutions. These are the conversations that make college football fascinating, but they also challenge us to think critically about fairness and representation in athletic recognition. What's your take on Jackson State's dominant representation on this watch list? Do you believe their 6 selections are justified based on merit alone? Or do you think other programs and players might be getting overlooked due to less media attention? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Whether you agree or disagree, this discussion needs diverse perspectives to really examine what's happening in HBCU football today.